Maracaibo is a city and municipality in northwestern Venezuela, on the western shore of the strait that connects Lake Maracaibo to the Gulf of Venezuela. It is the second largest city in the country and the capital of the state of Zulia. The population of the city is approximately 1,495,200 with the metropolitan area estimated at 2,108,404 as of 2010. Maracaibo is nicknamed La Tierra del Sol Amada. Etymology: the name Maracaibo is said to come from the brave cacique Maրա, a young native who valiantly resisted the Spaniards and died fighting them. It is said that when Maրա fell, the Indians shouted maɾa଼kai, thus originating the city name. Other historians say that the first name of this land in Indian language was maɾaʻkai, meaning place where serpents abound. History. Foundation: the first indigenous settlements were of Arawak and Carib origin. Around the main group were the +U tribe who built rows of stilt houses all over the northern Riviera of the Lake Maracaibo. The first Europeans arrived in 1499. The city was founded 3 times, the first time was during the Klein-Venedig period, when the Welser bankers of Augsburg received a concession over Venezuela province from Charles I of Spain. In August 1529 the German Ambrosius Inge made his first expedition to Lake Maracaibo, which was bitterly opposed by the indigenous Coquivacoa. After winning a series of bloody battles, he founded the settlement on September 8, 1529. Inge named the settlement New Nuremberg and the lake after the valiant chieftain Maրա of the Coquivacoa, who had died in the fighting. The city was renamed Maracaibo after the Spanish took possession. The lack of activity in the zone made Nicolaus Federman evacuate the village in 1535 and move its population to Santa Marta near the then capital of Venezuela province, Santa Ana de Coro. A second attempt by Captain Alonso Pacheco in 1569 suffered a brief setback when the city had to be evacuated in 1573 due to ferocious attacks by native local tribes. The European settlement returned a short while later in 1574, however, for which it was refounded by Captain Pedro Maldonado under Governor Diego de Mazariegos' command and assuming the name of Nueva Zamora de Maracaibo. Nueva Zamora comes from Mazariegos' place of birth, Zamora, in Spain. Since its definite foundation, the town began to develop as a whole. It is based on the western side of Lake Maracaibo, the dominant feature of the oil-rich Maracaibo Basin. Favored by prevailing winds and a protected harbor, the city is located on the shores of the lake where the narrows, which eventually lead to the Gulf of Venezuela, first become pronounced. Pirates attacks: the Dutch corsair Enrique de Gerard plundered Maracaibo in 1614, and in 1642 the city was attacked by the British pirate William Jackson. In 1667, Lola Nace with a fleet of 8 ships and a crew of 600 pirates sacked Maracaibo and Gibraltar. En route, Lola Nace crossed paths with a Spanish treasure ship, which he captured, along with its rich cargo of cacao, gemstones and more than 260,000 pieces of 8. In March 1669, Henry Morgan sacked Maracaibo, which emptied when his fleet was first spied, and moved on to the Spanish settlement of Gibraltar on the inside of Lake Maracaibo in search of more treasure. A few weeks later, when he attempted to sail out of the lake, Morgan found an occupied fort blocking the inlet to the Caribbean, along with 3 Spanish ships. These were the Magdalena, the San Luis, and the Soledad. He destroyed the Magdalena and burned the San Luis by sending a dummy ship full of gunpowder to explode near them, after which the crew of the Soledad surrendered. By faking a landward attack on the fort, thereby convincing the Spanish governor to shift his cannon, he eluded their guns and escaped. In June 1678, Michel de Grammont, French commander of 6 ships and 700 men, captured Maracaibo. Then followed the plundering of several smaller towns as Gibraltar, penetrating as far inland as Trujillo. Independencia era. In 1810 the province of Maracaibo did not join the First Republic of Venezuela and remained loyal to the Spanish crown. Maracaibo then held the seat of the Captaincy General of Venezuela. In 1821 uprisings in favor of independence began conducting to warfare and hostility. The Royalists, led by Francisco Tomás Morales, fought with the Patriots, led by Rafael Urdaneta, to take back control over the province, and the Juana de Avila battle in Morales brought back Spanish rule in 1822 until he was defeated at the Battle of Lake Maracaibo on July 24, 1823, culminating Venezuela's struggle for independence. Isolation period. For about 390 years, Maracaibo remained isolated and separated from the rest of the country. Transportation was only possible across the lake by ferry or other marine transport. Cars, buses, and lorries, with their constant flow of manufactured goods and agricultural product, depended on the ferry system between the city and the eastern shore, with their roads to connect to the country's motorway system. Maracaibo and the Lake Maracaibo region's economy was more linked to Colombia than to eastern Venezuela due to the natural route available through Lake Maracaibo then leading to the sea. This isolation was both a challenge and an advantage. The very nature of the city's location made for a population known for their independent thought and character. The history of this region is rife with stories about the creation of an independent and sovereign nation apart from Venezuela, a nation called La República Independiente del Zulia, which means the Independent Republic of Zulia, but this has never come to be. Building of the bridge. The dictatorial regime of General Marcos Paz copyright regime in the 1950s set as a goal the construction of a bridge connecting the two lake shores. Various bridge projects for the spanning of the Lake Maracaibo narrows near the city were in the works. The general's government had decided that this city of independent thought should be more connected to the rest of the country. Proposals for a bridge design that included rail transport and tourist facilities were seriously considered. The fall of the Paz copyright regime government on January 23, 1958, quickly led to a less elaborate design project that was approved and funded by a democratic and more conservative government. The building of El Puente sobre el Lago de Maracaibo General Rafael Urdaneta General Rafael Urdaneta Bridge over Lake Maracaibo, named after the distinguished general hero of the War of Independence, was opened to public traffic in 1962. The project was completed on schedule in 40 months. This bridge construction project was a remarkable feat. Built under very difficult conditions, when completed, it became the longest pre-stressed concrete bridge in the world. The structure is in constant use and remains today as the most important link between Maracaibo, along with much of the state of Zulia, and the rest of Venezuela. Modern times, Maracaibo has become a large metropolitan city, comprising two municipalities, to the north the municipality of Maracaibo and to the south the San Francisco municipality. In recent years, due to political, economic and cultural reasons, many have moved to Maracaibo from rural areas and other cities. In the political arena, the citizens of Maracaibo have in recent years voted for a competitive political system in where the governor is from a certain political party and the mayor or mayors are from the opposite political party. This system has brought many good things to the city and the state. For example, if the governor builds a bridge, one of the mayors will build two. If a mayor cleans a public park, the governor retaliates by cleaning and remodeling another one. Maracaibo also boasts one of the best universities in the country, the State University. La Universidad del Zulia is well renowned for its excellent law, medical and engineering schools as many other disciplines. Other universities and schools include Universidad Dr. Rafael Beloso Scherker and Universidad Rafael Urdaneta, with one of the country's leading psychology schools. The Diocese of Maracaibo was elevated to Archdiocese on April 30, 1966 by Pope Paul VI. Maracaibo was visited by Pope John Paul II in 1985. Since November 2000, its archbishop has been Ubaldo Ramacuba den Santana Sequeira. Perspective. Frana Section Noir de Pons, an agent to the French government in Caracas, provides some historical insight into the people of Maracaibo in his travel journal. The following excerpts describe the local population of Maracaibo. They perform coasting, or long voyages, with equal facility. And when all trade is suspended by the operations of war, they enter privateers. Bred up in the neighborhood of the lake, they are mostly all expert swimmers and excellent divers. Their reputation stands equally high as soldiers. those who do not enter into the sea service, form plantations, or assist in cultivating those that belong to their fathers. Nothing proves better their aptitude for this kind of occupation, than the immense flocks of cattle with which the savannas of Maracaibo, are covered. He also notes the appreciation of literature, the arts, education, and culture among the people of Maracaibo, but what confers the greatest honor on the inhabitants of Maracaibo, is their application to literature, in which, notwithstanding the wretched state of public education, they make considerable progress. They likewise acquired the art of elocution, and of writing their mother tongue with the greatest purity. In a word, they possessed all the qualities that characterize men of letters. During the period of Dupon's visit, however, he believed the men of Maracaibo to lack integrity with regard to honoring their commitments. After allowing that the inhabitants of this city possess activity, genius, and courage, we have nothing further to say in their praise. They are accused of violating their promises, and even of attempting to break through written engagements. Their character, in this respect, is so notorious, that every stranger whom business induces to visit Maracaibo, affirms, that it would be much better to enter into commercial speculations with the women, because they appear themselves to possess that sincerity and good sense that are everywhere else considered as belonging particularly to men. Economy, chemical production, geography, location. The Maracaibo municipality is currently divided into 18 parishes, which are: climate. Maracaibo is one of the hottest cities of Venezuela. The rain shadow of the Sierra Nevada de Santa Marta gives the city a semi-arid climate only attenuated by the moderating influence of the lake. Its average historical temperature is 29 degrees Celsius. In the past, the climate of the city, as well in all the coast of the Lake Maracaibo, was unhealthy, due to the combination of high temperatures with high humidity. At the present time, the effects of urban development, and control of plagues, has almost eradicated that. The registered high temperature of the city is 41 degrees Celsius, and the lowest is 18 degrees Celsius. Colleges and universities. Several universities are based in the city: Universidad del Zulia, Universidad Nacional Experimental de la Fuerza Armada UNEFA, Universidad Rafael Beloso Cherquén, Universidad Rafael Urdaneta, Universidad Catacublica Cecilio Acosta, Universidad Drive Jose Copyright Gregorio Hernández, Universidad Bolivariano de Venezuela Seed Zulia, Universidad Nacional Abierta Centro Local Zulia. Sports. Due to the regionalistic nature of Marabinos, they strongly support their native teams. Maracaibo, and the rest of Zulia, are represented in baseball by the Águilas del Zulia, a Venezuelan winter league team that plays in the Liga Venezolana de Bar Copyrightable Profesional, and is based in the Estadio Luis Aparicio El Grande. Regional teams include the Uniclub de Atlético Maracaibo and the Zulia FC in football, and the Gaiteros del Zulia in basketball, a team that participates in the Liga Profesional de Baloncesto de Venezuela, whose home is the 5,000 people Pedro Elias Belisario Ponte Stadium. In the 2000 Little League World Series, the Sierra Maestra Little League of Maracaibo, Venezuela defeated Bel Air Little League of Bel Air, Texas in the championship game of the 54th Little League World Series. The Coquivoco Little League team from Maracaibo placed third in the 1974 Little League World Series. Team: Baseball Águilas del Zulia BBC. Soccer: Uniclub de Atlético Maracaibo, Zulia FC. Basketball: Gaiteros del Zulia. Rugby: Maracaibo Rugby Football Club All Blacks. Culture in Maracaibo is very indigenous and unique, is recognized in every state and city in Venezuela, and is very influential with its goitas, desserts, style, living, and customs. Most major houses of advertising in Venezuela acknowledge how opposite the culture of Maracaibo is from that of Caracas. Studies of both prove, for example, that Caracas' leading soft drink brand is Coke, while in Maracaibo it is Pepsi. This has made many brands create special localized advertising of their products. Marabinos are extremely proud of their city, their culture, and all of Zulia. They usually claim that Venezuela wouldn't be the country it actually is without Zulia. Rivalry with inhabitants of other regions is common, especially with Gocos and Caracas plus or minus Os. The gaita is a style of Venezuelan folk music from Maracaibo. According to Joan Corominas, it may come from gates, the Gothic word for goat, which is the skin generally used for the membrane of the furrow instrument. Other instruments used in gaita include maracas, cuatro, charrasca and tambora. Song themes range from humorous and love songs to protest songs. The style became popular throughout Venezuela in the 1960s, and it fused with other styles such as salsa and merengue in the 1970s. Famous gaita groups include Maracaibo 15, Gran Coquivacoa, Barrio Obrero, Cardinals de la Permelcito, Cacumba, Melody Gaita, Guaco, Estrellas del Zulia, Saladillo, and many others. Museums, cultural centers and theaters, Museo de Arte Contemporáneo del Estado Zulia. Museo General Rafael Urdaneta. Museo Municipal de Arte Gráficas Barmiro Le Cubden. Centro de Bellas Artes de Maracaibo. Centro de Arte de Maracaibo La Bermudez. Teatro Baralt. Libraries, Biblioteca Pública del Zulia. Biblioteca Pública Arturo Uslar Pietri. Biblioteca Dr. Pedro Alcira Barbosa de la Torre. Biblioteca Pública Sima Cubden Palma. Biblioteca Pública Luis Guillermo Benito Beloso, Biblioteca Pública Especializada Pedagógica Cubdjica. Biblioteca Pública Especializada Cedini. Notable natives, Teolindo Acosta, baseball player, Ricardo Aguirre, composer and singer. Wilson Alvarez, former Major League Baseball left-handed pitcher. Ernesto Aparicio, professional baseball player, manager, and team owner. Luis Aparicio, former shortstop in Major League Baseball and a member of the Baseball Hall of Fame. Rafael Maria Baralt, illustrious Venezuelan diplomat and one of the country's most famed writers, philologists, and historians. He was the first Latin American to occupy a chair at the Real Academia Española plus or minus Ola. Born on July 3, 1810, he suffered an untimely death due to the stresses and aggravations suffered during services rendered to his beloved country of birth. He died on January 4, 1860, and is buried in the National Pantheon of Venezuela. Oscar Baradas, Venezuelan flutist, Luis Barrera Linares writer, teacher of Universidad Simón Bolívar, Antonio Bria plus or minus is, Venezuelan baseball pioneer, as well as the first manager who brought a national amateur baseball championship to his homeland. maɾaʻkai plus or minus O Venezuelan poet. Javier Castellano Venezuelan Jockey Eclipse Award 2013. Gustavo Cherquien, MLB starting pitcher for the Toronto Blue Jays. Gilberto Carri, TV host. David Cubillan, basketball player, Marquette University. Chiquinquira Delgado, actress and TV host. Francisco José Duarte, mathematician, Heraclio Fernandez pianist and composer, Lupita Ferrer, actress. Jacqueline Goldberg poet, Betulio Gonzalez, former boxer. Carlos Gonzalez, MLB outfielder for the Colorado Rockies. Jeremy Gonzalez, MLB player for the Chicago Cubs, Tampa Bay Devil Rays, Boston Red Sox, New York Mets, and the Milwaukee Brewers. Lyogar Cubed Grillo, criminologist. Alejandro Hernandez, internet comedian. Jonathan Herrera, second baseman for the Colorado Rockies. Ninbeth Leal, Miss Venezuela World 1991, Miss World 1991. Carlos La Cubed Bustamante, journalist, known for his fierce opposition to the dictator Juan Vicente Gar Cubed from the pages of Diario El Fona Cubed Grifo. Eduardo La Cubed Bustamante, journalist, lawyer and poet. He was a leading intellectual and a figure within Venezuelan jurisprudence. Teresa La Cubed Bustamante, journalist, founder of the Catholic Venezuelan newspaper La Columna. Eduardo La Cubed Rivas, editor and journalist. He founded and directed the newspaper Diario El Fonocubgrafo and the magazine El Zulia Ilustrado. Tulio Enrique Lecubden, blind organist, composer, and arranger, he would become one of Venezuela's most popular artists and would bear the title, El Artista del Teclado. Jesus Enrique Losada, journalist, lawyer, parliamentary, president of the Universidad del Zulia, teacher, writer. Julio Machado, MLB pitcher. Carlos Baldo, fighter pilot. The only Latin American member of the Red Barons Flying Circus, awarded the Iron Cross during WWI. Ernesto Mays Vallenilla, philosopher, rector of Universidad Simon Bolivar. Armando Molero, songwriter. Carlos Caridad Montero, film producer. Humberto Fernandez Mora N., a research scientist. He developed the diamond scalpel and founded IVIC, the Venezuelan Scientific Research Institute. www.ivic.gov.ve. Leila Murillo, actress and singer. Francisco Ochoa, first president of the Universidad del Zulia. Adon Perez, author of the Zulia State Anthem. Nick Pocock, former cricketer, ex-captain of Hampshire County Cricket Club. Carlos Ramirez McGregor, journalist, politician and writer. L. Rafael Rafe, electrical engineer and the 17th president of the Massachusetts Institute of Technology. Graciela Rinconcubden Culcar ±O, Venezuelan poet. Daniel Sarcos, Telemundo TV host. Monica Spear, Miss Venezuela 2005, Miss Universe 2005 fourth runner-up. Orlando Urdaneta, actor. Rafael Urdaneta, hero of the Latin American War for Independence. Vivian Urdaneta, Miss Venezuela International 2000, Miss International 2000. Patricia Van Derlin, Venezuelan painter. Patricia Velasquez, actress and international top model. Leonardo Villalobos, actor and television personality. Districts. International relations. Twin towns sister cities. Maracaibo is twinned with Skyline. Line note references. References to Ponds, Frena Section Wa, a voyage to the eastern part of terra firma, or the Spanish Main, in South America, during the years 1801, 1802, 1803, and 1804, New York, O'Reilly and Compania, external links. Spanish, Panorama Digital, largest Maracaibo-based newspaper. Spanish, La Verdad, Maracaibo-based newspaper.